So this is another video vlog for the test drive of a Kia Carnival 2023 model. This one is the top of the range SXL. It's got all the bells and whistles. It comes in this very beautiful purple color, also with the metallic. I'm not so sure if you can pick it up. You can try to focus. Anyway, it's in the shade it looks like a black car, actually like a very dark blue car actually, but when you get close under the sun you can see the metallic fleck. It's very eye-catchy. Many people have come up to me and comment on the car. So I've had this car for about 3 days. This is a test car from mainland Kia here in Pretoria. This starts from the exterior. I must admit, from the front it's very SUV like. We have a Sorento, also this particular generation, but a 22 model. So the front reminds me of this whole new corporate identity from Kia, which I must admit it's very favorable. It's quite understated vehicle. You can see the bit of a chrome. I mean, the lights and everything looks really sophisticated. You know, everybody's going with the whole slim lights looking nowadays, so it kind of fits with the trend. And bear in mind that a lot of the BMW guys were poached and went and worked for Kia, so I think this is the result of the whole European, or actually a little bit like a German car in a way. Audi-esque, BMW-ish, but not quite Mercedes. But anyway, I like the look from the front, but from the side, this is where it gets a little bit, I think, up to the individual taste, because this, according to my wife, looks like a hearse. I think it's quite well proportioned. They try to hide the whole minivan proportion, and even with the 20-inch wheels, it still looks very long. However, the ground clearance is quite good, even though the car looks relatively low in the skies. From the back, it's going back to that whole new Kia look with the lights bar across. Looks pretty awesome at nights, I must say. It's a very good looking minivan. You can see the whole chrome detail, the proportion. I mean, the track for the sliding door, you can't really hide it, but I think it's blending in pretty well. One thing of note is that even though the suspension looks very low, the travel is quite good. So you go through speed bumps and small potholes and things like that, it's a non-event. You don't really pick it up at all. However, these tires are not confidence inspiring, as they call it, because these are really road bias tires, but for some reason they don't grip that well. I think it's more for, you know, longevity than performance, given the nature of this vehicle. I really like this top roof rail, which has got a very funky design towards the end. It's almost like a blade. It reminds me of a Japanese katana. It's just this nice thin blade on top of it. Looks aerodynamic. I don't know exactly how that's gonna work out. Very intelligent. You can probably hear some beeping as I walk close to the car. So basically, if you get close to the vehicle with the key in the pocket, what happens is the car registers. So now it's beeping and the door opens. So I had to be close for you to see. I'm sorry about the sun. But yeah, it's very clever. But once one door opens, any of the doors, or any one of all the 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doors opens, then the door automatically unlocks. The tailgate does the same thing. So if I get close to it, when the door is in the lock position, the tailgate after 5 beeps will also open on its own. And since the door is open, let me just show you quickly about the practicality. So I've got 2 kids, both of them still require baby seat. So this is the kind of setup. It's quite versatile. It's got a little handle at the bottom there that you pull up, and then you can pull the seats forward. Under normal circumstance, that will be adequate for most of the people to go to the third row, which is folded down at the moment for the boot space. However, with the baby seat on, it's literally impossible. You will literally have to walk through to the middle here and then to the back. So for those who think that you can put in 2 baby seats and still get access, you can, I suppose, for someone who's more agile. And then there is quite a bit of room from the, from the ceiling to the floor. So if you bend your back and that, you can walk kind of between the 2 seats to get to the third row. However, if you want to do it the way that Kia designed it, where you put this thing forwards and then the whole thing kind of folds back and then slide forward, it's not possible. In fact, it's not possible with any vehicles unless you can swivel the seats like in the VW Caravels or the V-Class of Mercedes-Benz. So the rear access is quite tricky depending on whether you have this kind of configuration. But what is nice though, if your kids are a little bit older but you still insist on having them in the child seats until the the weight, you can have these seats in the third row. They're ISOFIX as well, and they are pretty spacious. So it's not really a problem in terms of practicality, but you got to be clever about it and make that arrangement earlier on. In terms of technology, this thing is loaded. I mean, I'm not gonna go into the detail. There are plenty videos about it, but I'm very impressed. I mean, this thing has got basically level 2 autonomous driving. So you can follow the car automatically. It will steer if you're out of the lane. It will basically keep the car in the center of the lane most of the time. I have tested them out at any speed. It works really well. I mean, it's probably one of the best systems I have come across. So I'm pretty impressed with that. Not that I use a lot of it. And in terms of the technology inside, is also very impressive. It's got all the basic, well, I wouldn't say basic, but all the options that one wants to tick. It's got a wireless charging, Apple CarPlay wired, Android Auto also wired. It's got basically everything that you can think of nowadays with a high-end luxury SUV or MPV that's in there. And the build quality is very good too. You'll see now it's got a lot of these beige color panels and stuff. It makes the car look airy, but with kids, it's always a bit of a concern that they can mar the leather or the panels or whatever, and then the cleaning will be it will be an ongoing process. And also with these piano blacks, I know a lot of people complain about it. It does look good. It's a fingerprint magnet and it does scratch. However, we have come to appreciate the ease of cleaning. In other words, yes, a lot of people don't like to clean their car, but for those of us who do, it's actually not too bad. I know it's a bit dusty at the moment. Let me see if I can focus. It is also a little bit scratched. Not the best material to use in a car that is designed for carrying people, especially young kids. The center console, it's quite well laid out. There are a lot of these buttons, well, touch screen buttons rather. It would be nice if they're just physical buttons. I really don't mind. I'm not fazed about this technology that is currently trying to neaten up the interior, so you get a lot of buttons that are taken off now. I'm not a big fan. Maybe I'm just old school, but I do like this big screen, which is very high definition, very clear to see. Doesn't matter which time of the day. I love these 2 sunroofs. You can see that one has been played around. Kids feel that they're in charge every time they can get to open the door, open the sunroof, open the blinds, all kinds of stuff. So kids love it. Very versatile. Extremely versatile with these rail system. So, and also the back is just, I mean, you can't fault it. You really can't. There's so much space with the third row folded down. I wasn't given the carpet, so got to be careful with those handles, but I know the Kia does give you a carpet to cover it at the back. It's a big sturdy mat. and it's just really a lot of space. Let me come around to the side and to the back. Haven't really used the tow bar, so I don't know how the towing capacity is like, but I mean, look at this. This is incredible. If you hear the beep, it's because when you have the key and then you open the, anyway really, they want to automatically close it when you walk away. So if you don't want that annoying beep, you gotta press that, then the beep goes away and you won't shut down, you won't close the tailgate on you when you just walk away accidentally, leaving your young ones here and then they get pinched or whatever. But luckily they all got anti-pinch protection, so it does stop and bounces back if there is obstruction in the way. So yeah, this is really a very impressive minivan. You can see there's also some sun blinds which I have taken off on this side just to demonstrate. But yeah, basically when you have two baby seats, forget about access from the door. That's impossible. You cannot slide the chair forward enough for you to get the passenger through to the back or to the third row. So it's either you have got the baby seat at the third row here, or you have to have one baby seat in front and one baby seat at the back, so that you can allow one side of the door to be the access to the rear. So that's basically my vlog. Very impressed with the on-road performance as well. It's never really felt like I couldn't overtake, or fuel consumption is also pretty good. It sits about 10 liters per 100, which is pretty on par with a car of this nature, and you really can't complain and expect that it will outperform the bigger engine vehicles. This is only a 2.2 diesel, and I think the output is close to 150 kilowatts and about 450 newton meters of torque. But it is a very nice proposition for the money, and yeah, I'm really glad that I got to test drive this for 3 days, taking the kids to school and back, and also just drive around for chores and errands. And it's really something that one should consider if you have got young kids, family of 5, with the additional seats at the back. You can't go wrong with this car. And for that price point and all the tech that you get in this car, the comfort level, the space, the refinement, you can't, there aren't that many that can compare out there. So yeah, if you got $1 million or more, just a little bit over $1 million rand, and you need a people mover in style, in luxury, I think this is your sure bet.